let's talk about something that no one is talking about. The NFL is evolving fast. We have rising stars like Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, the legend Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Justin Herbert. And then you want to put Tua in there too as well. But these are the quarterbacks that are like in that mid part of their career. And you want to include Dak Prescott as well. Today, I feel like we'll have an ongoing conversation about these quarterbacks that impact the league right now, but there are quarterbacks that are older than these guys that are still in the league, and we're seeing which young stars are going to take over. Look at Matthew Stafford and his stint that he played with Detroit, and then moving on to the LA Rams, winning a Super Bowl in 2020. With modern training and technology today, he can play until he's 42 or 43. Sometimes I believe he just has to throw the ball away and not get injured. And then there's your boy Aaron Rodgers. Coming off an Achilles injury last year and playing the way he did at the end of the season was showing old flashes of Aaron Rodgers in his MVP years. He still has a few teams to pick between, whether it's the Pittsburgh Steelers or being like his predecessor in Brett Favre. Obviously, you see the pattern there. I mean, Brett Favre had some okay receivers, but he did not have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, that's for sure. Which brings me to my next point. When you see the list of quarterbacks that have been around so far in this league, it seems that the evolution of this position stays a little bit longer than a lot of other positions. And honestly, the real reason this all started was when Aaron Rodgers got hurt and he was having an MVP season, knowing that the defensive lineman disrupted offense. And you know the NFL loves some offense. So now with this new rule not hurting the quarterback, these quarterbacks could last a little bit longer in the NFL. So if you're a young scout out there looking for a good way to get paid and stay in the NFL for a long time, whether if it's punting or kicking, quarterback is not too bad. Look at all these quarterbacks that could be backups or, starters in the league. And some of these quarterbacks you can see collected their bag. Look at number 10, Jimmy Garoppolo, Geno Smith at 9, and you can also look at Kirk Cousins at 5, Matthew Stafford getting his deal, and of course Aaron Rodgers, the GOAT, getting his money as well. But we have to ask the question, who's going to replace these legends? Does Sean McVay know what to do? Is he actually going to draft a quarterback this year? When you look at the list of the quarterbacks that are coming out in this 2025 class, it is very interesting to see. I will say, looking at pick number 5 and number 6, Quinn Ewers and Jackson Dart are the leading two that I will say can replace Matthew Stafford. Looking at Jackson Dart's career, he's played at USC, and then he's also played with Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, and he's led their team last year, I want to say, to a 10-3 record, which is very impressive in the SEC. So Jackson Dart has a great arm, and he's looking like he can be one of those top candidates to replace Matthew Stafford. Also, there's that boy, Quinn Ewers from Texas, who has done an exceptional job going to the playoffs 3 times and almost winning and getting to the national championship twice. So he's improved in his demeanor and his quarterback stance, and he's one of those picks that can also work well with Sean McVay. We know the leading quarterbacks in this conversation will be Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward, but we will see likely how this draft will end. Do you believe you'll have some sleepers in Graham Mertz and Will Rogers, who have exceptional arms, but we will see when it comes to their accuracy. So which quarterback do you think will rise to the occasion in this year's draft? Let me hear.